Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and we are back with the Room Mill. I hope you got your coffee, your tea, your wine, wherever you are on this beautiful place that we call planet Earth. And we are back here on the Monday. Why didn't you upload at the weekend, Connor? Well, guys, what I'm trying to do is not upload on the weekend. So essentially on Monday, we have jam-packed full of information here for you on the Mill, the only place to get your rumour content. Now, I wanted to touch on England as well, guys. You guys have been asking me, Connor, are you going to be doing any content with regards to England? I will be trying to do a sort of special watch-along sort of thing, which I'm thinking about redoing because I'm not as reactive for England as I am for Leeds. I'm really not. So keep tuned for that if you want to come and get your England/Leeds content via a watch-along. Why not come here? Yeah, so there you go. So, yeah, I'm going to be providing that for you guys, so make sure you tune in. I think it's on the, is it 13th and the 18th, etc., etc. So make sure you're tuning into One Leeds, that one. Anyway, enough waffle. Guys, make sure you like and comment on the video as well. Let me know in the comment section below. We've got a shed ton of rumours to get through. If you aren't subscribed, what are you doing? There's now 43.5% of you who aren't subscribed. It's gone up. It's gone up, so make sure you are subscribed. If you're not, what are you doing? Anyway, let's get into it. Now, initially, I wanted to touch on the big rumour of the weekend. There's a lot of you lot who've been asking me about it. Connor, what do you think? Connor, should we have gone for him? Yada, yada, yada. Emi Buendia of Norwich is going to Aston Villa. 35 million/38 million. Massive deal. Massive statement of intent from Aston Villa. And listen, you've got to respect it. You've got to respect it. Aston Villa are going for that next level, like we are going for that next level. That's why there's a little bit of a rivalry there. You know, we're similar sized clubs. We're both going for the same sort of extrinsic values. We both want to be up there. We're both looking at Wolves and Leicester's as blueprints. We both want to be top 6 in general. We both want to be top 4 in general. The reason I mentioned Wolves was obviously because of Wolves' first 2 seasons where they're absolutely phenomenal. But Leicester are the blueprint for any club who want to reach the upper echelon, who aren't the Manchester United, who aren't the the Manchester City, Liverpool, etc. What I'm trying to say, guys, is Buendia, the reason I'm mentioning all that is because it really is a statement of intent from Aston Villa. It looks like they're going for James Ward-Prowse as well. You've got to say fair play. It's ambition. I like it. I like the ambition. Emi Buendia, what a player he is. You guys know I've been talking about him on here for years. I'd rather have him. I'd have rather had Buendia last summer than Ben Rama. I'd have rather had Buendia than anyone aside from Pablo Hernandez, or alongside Pablo Hernandez. He's the best player to have ever played in the Championship, in my personal opinion. Numbers are through the roof. Unbelievable footballer, and him and Jack Grealish together. A lot of people are talking about Jack Grealish going to Man City. I do not think so. You know, The Athletic have done a lot of fantastic articles, and I try to read round The Athletic on different clubs and all this sort of stuff. Villa are owned by an absolute monumentally wealthy businessman. So I cannot envisage Grealish is going to be going. I think it's going to be Grealish and Buendia in the same side, but we did finish above them, and we intend to do that next year as well. But guys, on to the Leeds United news as well. I just wanted to touch on that because you guys have asked me to speak about it. Noel Whelan wants Leeds United to sign Michy Batshuayi. Now, the interesting point from what Noel has said today is that there is an actual option there for Leeds United to get him on loan. Now, what do you think about that? Michy Batshuayi in on loan. It's not really a Leeds-esque signing for me. However, there is a beast inside there. There is a beast inside of Michy Batshuayi, and I do thoroughly believe that some club somewhere, some manager somewhere will get the best out of him. Could that be the great one, Marcelo Bielsa, coming in as a backup option for Patrick Bamford? Is Rodrigo ever going to be that debutant? No, it's really difficult to say because we know how good Rodrigo is up front. Is he going to be that man who's going to be a backup to Patrick Bamford? Does Bielsa trust him up front? Because even in the latter games of this season that we've just played, when we still saw Rodrigo playing in that central midfield role, is that still somewhere that Marcelo Bielsa believes Spain's number 9, where he should be, by the way, should be playing? I'm not convinced. Bielsa's convinced that he's a centre forward. Talking about centre forwards, what we heard this weekend, Eddie has been offered to Leeds United for £20 million. quid. Eddie Nketiah, we all loved him. He had a great little spell at Leeds. It hasn't worked for him at all at Arsenal. Arsenal are not big fans of him. But listen, what an impact sub he was for Leeds United, wasn't he? We knew at the end, that he wasn't a starter because Patrick Bamford, when he came on against Birmingham, when he came on against West Brom, he stole the show. Eddie couldn't really compete with Bamford in terms of blow for blow. Bamford stepped his game up to an excellent level. What would you do? Let me know in the comment section below. Eddie Nketiah. Kvaratskhelia. Now, Kvaratskhelia agent. His agent, the big news today, has said that by July the 15th, at most, everything will be sorted with KVITCHA. Now, this is really interesting because he's actually confirmed that Leeds United have spoken to Kvaratskhelia. So, what is going to happen there? Seems like there's massive... There you go. Bit of a family member there getting in the car. Look at that. This is how committed I am, guys. Look, family member getting in the car, going to work for the nurse and NHS. Just trying to be clever. And yeah, I'm up here filming for you guys. So that's how early it is. That's a long shift for that person right there. In the red car, there you go. But yeah, KVITCHA, everything will be done by the 15th. What's going to happen? Is it going to be Leeds? Is it going to be an unnamed Italian club? But apparently it's between an English club and an Italian club. Who that Italian club is, we don't know. Could be Juve, could be Inter, could be AC Milan. It's definitely going to be one of the top clubs. I have seen online that AC Milan have had interest in him before. So could it be between Leeds United and AC Milan? We'll have to wait and see. But that's the big news for today. By July 15th, everything will be done. And he has had a conversation with Leeds representatives. There you go. Romain Perraud. It seems that Romain Perraud, according to Get French Football News, a really good source, a really reliable source. I encourage you to go follow their Twitter page. Very, very good. That Southampton are leading the race for Romain Perraud. Now, what does that say? We spoke about Javi Galán at Huesca coming to Leeds United. That is looking more and more likely, to be honest. Leeds are going to get better value. A player who has played at the top level, you know, arguably the second best league in Europe, and someone who looks like he would seamlessly fit into the Leeds setup for cheaper, for better value, guys. You know, we were talking about Emi Buendia at the start, weren't we? Well, if you gather the finances of Rafinha, you gather the finances of Llorente, you gather the finances of Robin Koch, just as a three altogether, they're not far off being the altogether value, of Emi Buendia. If you're looking at it based on accuracy, it is Rafinha and Robin Koch. You know, you're paying 17 million more altogether for Llorente, a three-man package. You've been brilliant for Leeds, as you are for Buendia, which is, you know, and this is why I'm mentioning this is because Javi Galán is 4 million. That's how much he is, whereas Romain Perraud is double, triple that value. So Leeds are going once again in the recruitment sphere with real intelligence and a real recruitment shrewdness. So there you go. Abdul Haroui. Now, Abdul Haroui is a Sparta Rotterdam midfielder, and Leeds are battling it out with Rangers, according to two publications. Abdul Haroui, Sparta Rotterdam midfielder. He's got 6 goals this year, 2 assists, 33 league appearances. Looks very, very good. And apparently, Leeds United are battling it out with Rangers for his signature. Just keep an eye on that one. Adama Traore has been made available by Wolves. Now, would you? Would you do it? We've spoken about it before. Adama Traore, I don't know. Listen, when you throw Marcelo Bielsa into the equation, he's going to be able to improve anyone. Is he going to be demanding astronomical wages, potentially? Is he going to disrupt the changing room? I don't think so. I mean, if we're throwing Batshuayi into the conversation, I don't think Traore is going to be much worse. But are these the types of player that Leeds are going for? I think, naturally, with a recruitment strategy, there does have to be some players who are of that ilk, you know, who are of the players that we know of, who are those players who have already been at this level. They've already proven themselves at this level and can do the business, surrounded by little recruitment gems like Rafinha, Koch and Llorente. So it would be interesting whether or not we would go for a well-known player such as Adama Traore, such as Michy Batshuayi, but it doesn't seem to fit the Leeds United mould. I can't remember the last time we did it, to be quite frank with you. So yeah, that one I don't think will happen. Fenerbahce sporting director has come out and said, we have been linked with Marcelo Bielsa. We will see how that one progresses in the next few days. Ha 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 I do not think so. Marcelo Bielsa is going nowhere. We are acquiring his targets as we speak. Listen, it's all a formality, really. Bielsa will be signing a new contract. We all know he will be. I think he signed 3 days before the Liverpool game. It's how he does things. Don't panic about it. Now, let's have a little chat about England. Nah. It was funny last night, wasn't it, with the do. Patrick Bamford, every time Watkins touched the ball. I think we've got to be careful not to make this, though, into a Bamford versus Watkins, Phillips versus Grealish, Ben White versus Tyrone Mings. We've got to, I am a fan of England and I do want to support the team. I don't want it to turn into sort of a regional, tribal rivalry, which I guess football is. But this was the whole problem with England for years and years and years. You get the Man United players sitting in a corner by themselves. You'd get the Liverpool players doing the same. And there'd be a massive fraction. I don't want there to be a fraction between England fans. I'm a Leeds fan over everything. I really am. That's club before country for me. It's always how it's been. But I would like to support Ollie Watkins. I would like to support Jack Grealish. I don't want it to be this thing where we're a bit nervous to say something because the Villa players, we always talk about not having a rivalry with Villa. I don't potentially think we've got I don't think we've got a rivalry with Villa. It's a competitive rivalry, but I think we've just got to leave that, really. We've got a really important tournament coming up. It was funny, wasn't it? It was hilarious. I laughed at it, but I'm there to support the team as well. I really am. And I'm sure Patrick is. I'm sure Patrick's wanting Ollie Watkins to score. He doesn't seem like the bitter type. But let's talk about the performance anyway. Austria was diabolical. What was it, 1-0? Yesterday, Romania 1-0. They luckily got through it, didn't they? Got a lot of work to do. Hendo picking up the penalty. Mr. Leader, Mr. Captain, fantastic. Well, if you're Mr. Leader, you do not take the penalty off a striker, my friend. That's poor leadership. Just because you want to get a goal. He's not fit for me. As Roy Keane said, what's the plan with him? He's not kicked a ball in 3 months. I don't really understand. We're leading up to a massive competition, and I get that he wants to play, but this is where, our boy Calvin comes in, isn't it? Is it going to be Calvin and Rice? Is it going to be, is Ward-Prowse going to sit in there? What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm really impressed by James Ward-Prowse. I think he's brilliant. I think he's like David Beckham-esque with his balls in as well, which is a massive asset to anyone. We've seen that with Rafinha at Leeds. When you get someone at set pieces who is world class, it can transform your fortunes offensively and defensively. In terms of setting up defensively and obviously offensively attacking the ball. But yeah, it's not been great so far. I've not been impressed with England. We heard Ashley Cole afterwards sort of hammering Calvin Phillips, and that's the class of the man. We're going into a tournament and he's just hammering a young, I say young, Calvin is, I think a 25, 26-year-old's young. But yeah, I don't like that taste from Ashley Cole. Basically, he was essentially saying, why does he not do for England what he does for Leeds, which is spray balls, and then he said to a Leeds fan online, he said, but why does it never contribute to goals? I mean, because Ashley, he's never watched Leeds. Again, it's so frustrating. You've never watched Leeds. Why would a central defensive midfielder / third centre-back sweeper create goals? Did Claude Makelele ever create goals? Did, all of these defensive players who sit there, does Jorginho create loads of goals aside from penalties that he takes? No, because that's not the role of a defensive midfielder who is the anchor to the midfield, who is the man who enables the midfielder to create and score goals. That's not Calvin Phillips' role. It's such a stupid, nonsensical argument. Declan Rice plays a little bit higher up than Calvin Phillips, and Declan Rice is encouraged to get forward. Calvin Phillips is simply not. That's not his role at Leeds United. So all this waffle, why is he not scoring more? Why is he not creating chances? Because that is not his role. It's not his role at Leeds United. So it's not going to be his role at England, is it? Ashley, brain dead. Really is a brain dead comment. Anyway, guys, that's it for the mill. Boom. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you tomorrow morning. If you haven't liked, if you haven't commented, if you haven't subscribed, I'm going to be furious with you. I really am. There's going to be some serious problems if you don't do that. Anyway, guys, if you have stuck to the end of this, got some big news. The end of this week, start of next week, we're going to be doing something big with my job. You all wanted something special in terms of audio recording. We will have something very special, not with One Leeds, but we'll be featuring me for my work, which you'll all be able to tune into next Monday. If you're not following Leeds Live, make sure you are, because you're going to absolutely love what is coming. It's big. It's big, okay? It's big. Featuring Baron Cross, my other colleague, Joe Donahue. It's massive, all right? So make sure you're following all of the Leeds Live socials. You can get them on Instagram, you can get them on Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you do that. Guys, have a lovely day, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.